Have you heard about the powerful health benefits of medicinal mushrooms? Take our preferred medicinal mushrooms for immune support, gut health, antioxidant properties, stress and sleep, heart health, liver protection, blood sugar regulation, cholesterol reduction, anti-cancer properties, cognitive health, mood and mental health, heart health, antibacterial and antiviral, and so much more. Available in easy-to-take capsules, great-tasting gummies, and our special coffee blends.
Since adding these mushrooms to my daily routine, my cholesterol levels have improved, and I feel more confident about my heart health.
Taking one of these blends before bed has been a game changer. I fall asleep faster and I wake up feeling truly refreshed.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Did you know that 60% of American adults live with at least one chronic disease? At Inside Health, they take the mystery out of wellness with extensive testing and customized lifestyle plans, all from the comfort of your home.
I've struggled with low energy and digestive issues for years, and no doctor could give me real answers. Working with Inside Health was a game changer.
As a mom, I'm always putting my family's health first, but I was neglecting my own. Inside Health changed that. I started feeling better almost immediately.
Inside Health Services help you and your family achieve whole body health with non-invasive personalized care. They listen to your concerns and health goals. They will pinpoint areas where your body needs support. They will create a simple, actionable plan just for you. Call them today, 970-685-8060, or visit InsideHealth.com.
Did you know that carbon 60 is 172 times more powerful than vitamin C as an antioxidant? This powerful molecule is scientifically proven to neutralize free radicals, reduce inflammation, and promote optimal energy. How does it work? C60 fights oxidative stress, the root cause of aging and disease, helping your body repair and rejuvenate naturally. It's like giving your cells a protective shield. Here's what our listeners have to say. Mike from Denver says,
C60 in olive oil has been perfect as my daily detox. I feel cleaner, lighter, and more energized every day.
Sarah from Houston says,
the C60 topical spray is incredible. I apply it to sore joints and within minutes, the pain and inflammation starts to fade.
Order now at c60.com or call 720-600-6040. Use coupon code TAMMY, T-A-M-M-Y, for a
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Welcome, welcome, everybody. You made it. You did it. It's Friday. You did so good. Did you get some food in your body? Did you move your body this week? Did you do what you said you were going to do, even just a little bit? Then you're doing okay. We got the snow. Yes, we did. We got the snow here in northern Colorado. And so far, I'm not going to jinx it, but so far, I would say that my peach trees and my cherry trees and my apple trees and my pear tree, it looks like they're okay. It looks like they're okay, So we will see what tonight brings. But I'm hopeful, and, it is what it is. I decided, I could run out there and torture my husband and my son. And have them help me try to cover them with like a tarp or something. And then I just thought, well, that's probably going to be a complete and utter gong show with us up on ladders and all that. I can just imagine cue Benny Hill music here, right? I mean, I could just see how that would go down. But so anyway, I decided not to do it and just to have a little faith. So hopefully it'll all turn out right. That's the status of everything here on 1890 Homestead. Kittens are doing good. They look a little fatter, which is cool. Their faces are getting a little fattened up. I couldn't get a good picture for today, so I'll try to get a good picture over the weekend and share with you on Monday. But lots going on in the news, as always. But holy cow, I do feel like there might be a little bit of an under reaction going on to this lab leak document that came to us from the White House today. Did you read it? So it's long, right? It's like 68 pages. And who has time for 68 pages? I didn't even have time to get through it. I was starting to cruise through it. And I was like, oh my gosh. Okay, I'm not trying to glorify Trump here or anything like that. I'm really not. But I just think that there is a master plan going on here. I think there is I don't know, I'm not talking about 5G chess and all that stuff. That's not my jam. Okay, that's not my jam. But I am seeing some strategy here that's really coming together. And we're seeing one thing in the news, right? We're seeing attacks on Kennedy in the news. We're seeing these stories that like nobody really cares about trying to take up space, like, the space story for one, but others. There's a lot of stories that are floating out there. This reaction to what Kennedy said about autism. There's a lot of stories on the surface that are trying to function in the way of trying to steal your attention. Focus on this, focus on this, focus on these stories, right? And then there's a lot of stuff happening behind that nobody's really talking about. And so this thing comes out today, you guys. I'm just like, what is happening here? So this thing comes out today about the origins, right? The origins of the lab leak, the origins of COVID-19, the lab leak. This thing comes out today. And okay, so just I printed off the first, the key points, the summary here, if you will. So the proximal origin of SARS-CoV-2 publication, which was used repeatedly by public health officials and the media to discredit the lab leak theory, was prompted by Dr. Fauci to push the preferred narrative that COVID-19 originated naturally. Okay, and so they've broken it down into parts. The first one is the proximal origin of publication. So the proximal origin of SARS-CoV-2 publication, which was repeated by public health officials and the media to discredit the lab leak theory, was promoted by Dr. Fauci to push the preferred narrative, right? So the proximity, the NIH's procedure for funding and overseeing potentially dangerous research are deficient, unreliable, and pose a serious threat in both public health and national security. Further, NIH fostered an environment that promoted evading federal record-keeping laws, as seen through the actions of Dr. David Morenz and FOIA lady Marge Moore. Okay, EcoHealth obstruction. EcoHealth President Dr. Peter Daszak. Oh my gosh, I covered this 4 years ago. It's just crazy. This is from the official White House website, okay? This is the official stance now. This is from the White House. EcoHealth President Dr. Peter Daszak obstructed the Select Subcommittee's investigation by providing publicly available information, instructing his staff to reduce the scope and pace of productions, and doctoring. I reported on this. Doctoring documents before releasing them to the public. Further, Dr. Daszak's provide false statements for Congress. Dr. Fauci senior advisor, Dr. David Morenz deliberately obstructed the select subcommittee investigation, likely to have led to more information, occasions unlawful and on occasions unlawfully deleted federal COVID-19 records and shared non-public information about NIH grant processes with EcoHealth President Dr. Peter Daszak. You guys, it goes on and on. It talks about the WHO and its response to COVID-19 was an abject failure because it caved to pressure from the Chinese Communist Party. You guys, social distancing 6 feet apart, social distancing recommendation. I'm so excited here, which shut down schools and small businesses across the country, was arbitrary and not based on science. Masks. There are no conclusive evidence that masks effectively protected Americans from COVID-19. Public health officials flip-flopped on the efficacy of masks without providing Americans scientific data, causing a mass uptick in public distrust. Misinformation. Public health officials often misled the American people through conflicting messaging, knee-jerk reactions, and a lack of transparency. Most egregiously, the federal government demonized alternative treatment and disfavored narratives such as the lab leak theory in a shameful effort to coerce and control American public health decisions. When those efforts failed, the Biden administration resorted to outright censorship, coercing and colluding with the world's largest social media companies to censor all COVID-19 related dissent. They know. They know. So, gosh, the wheels of justice could not move any slower on this, right? This has been 5 years of suffering for a lot of us. And as this came out this morning, I was on the treadmill running, and I started thinking, how did this happen? Like, I guess I'm obsessed, and maybe I talk about it too much, but I'm obsessed with understanding how this was able to happen. How our friends, our family members, people we loved, how they could get so angry at us for trying to expose the truth, how they could completely cut us out of their lives because we didn't comply, how they could, act the way that they did. And this is probably going to be a question I have to grapple with for the rest of my life, I think. But I'm definitely in search of understanding. And so one of the things that I kind of was thinking of on the treadmill today, and maybe it'll help you, it helped me, was this. And I took some notes so I could, try to articulate it properly to you. So this is kind of the way I saw it. And we're going to have to go to break here in a couple of minutes, but we'll pick up where we leave off here. So if you find a dog in an alleyway, right? It's beaten up, it's skinny, it's dirty, and it's backed into a corner, right? And it's shaking. What do? Most of us, right? We immediately kind of assess what this happened to me just a couple years ago down the road here by an oil rig on our dirt road. There was a dog there, just like this, beat up, skinny, dirty, looked thirsty. So immediately, what did I do? I assessed the situation, right? Like, is this dog with an owner, right? Why is this dog skinny? How long has it been without food? How long has it been without water? Is it injured? Is it bleeding? How can I help it, right? How can I help it? What can I say or do that will reach out to connect to this animal so I can support it? Even if the dog barks or growls, most people in this situation, they have an understanding because you think, well, this dog's experience, this is why he's acting this way. It's caused it. Whatever this dog has been through, clearly, there's some issues here. And so whatever it's caused this dog to be in this state is the reason for why it's acting the way it is. It's shy. It may be shaking. It doesn't want to come to you. It doesn't trust you. Doesn't trust you, right? So you have compassion for that dog. I did. And here's the thing. During COVID, many of us were that dog. And I realized that today because of our experiences. We were that dog. But for some reason, many did not hold the same space with compassion when it came to different insights on COVID. Let's talk about that when we come back. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. Stay tuned.
Have you heard about the powerful health benefits of medicinal mushrooms? Take our preferred medicinal mushrooms for immune support, gut health, antioxidant properties, stress and sleep, heart health, liver protection, blood sugar regulation, cholesterol reduction, anti-cancer properties, cognitive health, mood and mental health, heart health, antibacterial and antiviral, and so much more. Available in easy-to-take capsules, great-tasting gummies, and our special coffee blends.
Since adding these mushrooms to my daily routine, my cholesterol levels have improved, and I feel more confident about my heart health.
Taking one of these blends before bed has been a game changer. I fall asleep faster and I wake up feeling truly refreshed.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Did you know that 60% of American adults live with at least one chronic disease? At Inside Health, they take the mystery out of wellness with extensive testing and customized lifestyle plans, all from the comfort of your home.
I've struggled with low energy and digestive issues for years, and no doctor could give me real answers. Working with Inside Health was a game changer.
As a mom, I'm always putting my family's health first, but I was neglecting my own. Inside Health changed that. I started feeling better almost immediately.
Inside Health Services help you and your family achieve whole body health with non-invasive personalized care. They listen to your concerns and health goals. They will pinpoint areas where your body needs support. They will create a simple, actionable plan just for you. Call them today, 970-685-8060, or visit InsideHealth.com.
Did you know that carbon 60 is 172 times more powerful than vitamin C as an antioxidant? This powerful molecule is scientifically proven to neutralize free radicals, reduce inflammation, and promote optimal energy. How does it work? C60 fights oxidative stress, the root cause of aging and disease, helping your body repair and rejuvenate naturally. It's like giving your cells a protective shield. Here's what our listeners have to say. Mike from Denver says,
C60 in olive oil has been perfect as my daily detox. I feel cleaner, lighter, and more energized every day.
Sarah from Houston says,
The C60 topical spray is incredible. I apply it to sore joints, and within minutes, the pain and inflammation starts to fade.
order now at c60.com or call 720-600-6040. Use coupon code TAMMY, TAMMY.
Do you love Naturally Inspired Radio? Now you can watch the latest show anytime. So we've launched Naturally Inspired Radio 24/7, streaming live on Rumble. So it's around the clock, 24 hours. Catch our latest episode featuring real health talk you won't hear anywhere else. Just search in the Rumble search bar, Naturally Inspired Radio 24/7, and tune in. So shortly after this show, Jason will do his magic and he will upload it to that channel. Please go follow us on there. I know we're multiple places, and it's great if you follow us in multiple places, but we're really going to try to drive traffic to this channel. And of course, it's so that we can get more followers, get more exposure, connect more people to real solutions for health, which ultimately the whole goal is to change the medical model, right? To get everybody better care. So tune in to that if you would. Like us, even comment, share it with a friend, share it on your social media. We'd be so grateful for that. Okay, so let's get back to what I was talking about. We're talking about this dog scenario, and right away I'm thinking, no, but I don't want to be a dog. I don't want anybody to see me as a scared dog. So I totally get it. But hear me out, okay? There was reason for us to be in that situation, and it's not that we were weak. It was that we had experience. And that's my point here. This dog had an experience where he has every reason to feel untrustworthy of humans, right? And so essentially that is what was going on. People who knew COVID was a psyop for more government control and capture by corporations like pharma and biotech were able to see it for what it was because they were exposed to something in their lifetime that allowed them to see it. Now, some of those things, these are some of the things that I saw in people that I knew who saw the PSYOP for what it was, okay? It may have been medical wreckage from the medical model, meaning it took a loved one from them or it harmed a family member of theirs. It didn't work for them. And so through that experience, through that life experience, they had a healthy mistrust of the medical model already, okay? The other interesting person that I saw as a pattern that was awake to the PSYOP was people who had struggled with addiction. Because people who had struggled with addiction, or even if they had a loved one that struggled with addiction in their lifetime, specifically if it was something like opiates because of Oxycontin, they had a healthy distrust for the system because it hurt them personally or it hurt their loved one, and they watched nothing be done about it. They watched these corporations get a slap on the wrist while their friends and family members, and maybe even themselves, were seriously harmed by the opiate epidemic. So people who had exposure to that, and especially people who went through rehabilitation for addiction, oh, they knew. They knew. And another component of that was lawfare. So we saw this with doctors, right? Lawfare was weaponized against them for trying to expose truths that the establishment did not want exposed. So people who already worked in as naturopaths, people who already worked as chiropractors, they were used. They knew how the dang thing worked. They were used to being ostracized. They were used to being reprimanded for stepping out of line and talking about stuff that the medical mafia and the establishment didn't want to be said. So of course they saw it coming. The other thing was a biological injury from a vaccine, right? So parents of kids that are autistic, parents of kids that suffered vaccine injury because they at one time trusted the medical model and it did not work out well for them. So survivors, another one, and this one really is interesting to me too, is survivors of abuse. Survivors of abuse saw the telltale signs of patterns in abuse. So they'd done the trauma work of abuse in their own lives. And so they said, red flag, red flag, red flag, red flag, right? We're being gaslit. They're acting like narcissists. This isn't true. Because they have come through the journey of trauma themselves already. So they were like, not having it. Because they were skilled in recognizing the signs of abuse. And that's what this was. This PSYOP was abuse. all these people, and these are just some of the patterns that I saw with friends, family, people I knew their background, people that, my audience that reached out to me to tell me their stories. Everybody has a story as to why they knew. And it all kind of goes back to this wounded dog, right? There are experiences that we carry with us, that our experiences shape our perception and our points of view. But for some reason, there were a lot of people that they couldn't see it. We were in defense mode. Because we knew, oh my gosh, there's way too many people following this narrative. There's way too many people complying, and we know what this is. So we were in defense mode because we knew what was happening was wrong, and there was not enough people listening to us. So the dog in the alley is in defense mode because of his experiences, and people try to understand the dog, right? They try to understand the dog, but they never try to understand people with the same focus. Instead, people fell into their own fear. And because of that, lives were destroyed during COVID. People chose the side, and this is the part I really struggle with. People chose the side of a non-existent infrastructure that gave them the power to delegate it to faces. Fauci, Birx, Offit, Hotez. Our friends and family have never met these people. Never met them. But it was the infrastructure, the wave, the power of the narrative, of the agency. It's fascinating because they never met these people. Our friends and family never met these people. They never met them. These people like Offit, Fauci, Birx, they never extended a helping hand to our friends and family. They've never had a meal with our friends and family. They don't even know their children's names. Yet people followed them blindly. And so nobody will ever tell me again that mind control is not real and that brainwashing is not real, because it absolutely is. I just lived through it. They created an illusion by declaring a team of experts. And that's why I say now, there are no experts. There are no experts. That term's going to have to be earned back because they ruined it. Now, there are people that have experience, and if they're worthy of your trust, they can earn authority in your life. But I would run from anyone who tells you that they're an expert, because that is now a weaponized word and it means absolutely nothing. So yeah, I'm super excited about this drop of documents on the White House website. I think it's a signal to us. And I'm going to go through the documents more this weekend, and I'm sure we'll be talking about it next week more. But there's some mention of VAERS in the documents, the Vaccine Adverse Event Reporting System. I don't know for sure, but it sounds like to me, Trump may be, and I don't know. I'm not an oracle here. I don't have inside information. I'm not trusting the plan. Okay, none of that. But just from taking a look at these documents briefly, I thought to myself, I wonder if he's setting it up to be able to finally say these things are killing people. And I did not know. Here's the proof. I pray to God that's what it is. Whew. It's a good time to be alive. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. We're going to go to break, but we'll be back. Stay tuned.
Have you heard about the powerful health benefits of medicinal mushrooms? Take our preferred medicinal mushrooms for immune support, gut health, antioxidant properties, stress and sleep, heart health, liver protection, blood sugar regulation, cholesterol reduction, anti-cancer properties, cognitive health, mood and mental health, heart health, antibacterial and antiviral, and so much more. Available in easy-to-take capsules, great-tasting gummies, and our special coffee blends.
Since adding these mushrooms to my daily routine, my cholesterol levels have improved, and I feel more confident about my heart health.
Taking one of these blends before bed has been a game changer. I fall asleep faster and I wake up feeling truly refreshed.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
I don't know what it is about Friday, but the music always sounds better. Tell you, I like to cut a rug. Backstage passes. So over 70% of our listeners say they don't get a chance to listen to the entire show live. Totally get it. It's 2 hours. I get it. Now they can, though, with our commercial-free Backstage Pass. So get backstage access to real health solutions starting today. Tired of missing the live show? Want to support independent media that has survived somehow since 2019? Now's your chance to go deeper. Stay inspired and help our mission grow, starting at only $7 a month for a bronze pass. Join the Naturally Inspired Radio Backstage Pass today and get commercial-free access to every show so you can stream or listen whenever it works for you. We get a weekly backstage conversation with our most fascinating guests. We have some Vault podcasts and long-form podcasts that we're going to be releasing along with some new ones, so that's exciting. Early access to new segments, special invites, and bonus content. There's a members-only app access, which means you can listen on the go. You know, I have a lot of truck drivers that listen to me because of the radio, and they're going over the road, and then when they leave the state, they get out of the state or whatever, they can't get me anymore. So now you can. All you have to do is get the Backstage Pass. You can support the mission, which is the most important part, right? It is supporting the mission of real health, freedom, and transparency. with our healthcare. So there's a limited time bonus right now. I have a few of these and I'm going to send them out. If you join today, you get a free 15 serving of Good Brew sent to your door when you become a member at a silver or gold package Backstage Pass. Naturallyinspiredradio.com. Click on the Backstage graphic and join today. Okay, let's get to some more news story stuff. So the lab leak, we're going to be talking about that, I think, for the next week or so. I just want to briefly say, these are some of the names I saw listed in there. Robert Redfield, John Ratcliffe, Ralph Barrick, Alina Chan, Francis Collins, Fauci, of course, Zuckerberg. I think they know the whole thing. I really do. So that's awesome. Anyway, so we'll be talking about that. I'm sure more to come in the week. But one of those surface stories I was just talking about, right? The surface story where they want to get you outraged because Bobby Kennedy said that, kids with autism, they'll never have a job, they'll never pay taxes. You know what he said. And I first of all, he shouldn't have had to explain himself. Ridiculous. I had a great conversation with Josh Reed last night on the Red Pill Project. If you don't follow the Red Pill Project, you should. You can check it out. Our last night's discussion, we talked about what I talk about here all the time, right? Which was that widening the spectrum of autism to the point where, causation can't possibly be pinned down because the spectrum of autism is so wide, you can't narrow it down, right? That's a tactic. Anyway, so Kennedy comes out and he clarifies. So let's play the clip and then we'll talk about it. Here it is. This is Kennedy. I think it's on Hannity, Sean Hannity. Here it is.
Kids with autism, about 25% of them are nonverbal, non-toilet trained. They have all these stereotypical behaviors: head banging, biting, toe walking, stimming. And that population is growing higher and higher. So it's becoming a larger percentage. So we're seeing much, much more, many more cases that are now linked to severe intellectual disabilities. Let me say this. There are many kids with autism who are doing well. They're holding down jobs. They're getting paychecks. They're living independently. But I was specifically referring to that 25%, the group that is nonverbal.
That was clear. You were not ambiguous on that. You were clear.
Right. And the larger point is that the media has bought into this industry canard, this mythology, that we're just seeing more autism because we're noticing it more. We're better at recognizing it, or there's been changing diagnostic criteria. There is study after study in the scientific literature going back decades that says that that's not true. In fact, California legislature in 2013 asked the Mind Institute at UC Davis to look exactly at that topic. They said, is it real or are we just noticing it more? And the Mind Institute came back and said, absolutely, this is a real epidemic. This is something we've never seen before. But anybody with common sense, Sean, would notice that because the autism, this epidemic is only happening in our children. It's not happening in people our age. And if it was better recognition, you'd see it in 70-year-old men. And I'll say this, I want to be very careful when I say it because I've never seen a person with full-blown autism. I've seen many people with Asperger's and, on the spectrum who are my age. I've never seen anybody with full-blown autism. That means nonverbal, non-toilet trained. It's that you don't see these people walking around a mall because they don't exist in our age. Or they're very, very rare. They do exist, but they're rare, so rare that I've never seen.
So, first thing is, I got to wonder, is he thinking about the variable? And I'm sure he is. I'm not the smartest here, but other people are thinking about this. But is he thinking about the variable that we've talked about here of technology-induced brain dysfunction? Right? I'm dead serious about this. This is a real thing. All you have to do is look. There's NIH studies about technology actually changing the development of our brains. Right? It's at Harvard. These studies are there. Okay. And I'll tell you what happened to me today. Okay. he posted this clip. Secretary Kennedy posted this clip, and I saw it, and I commented on it. Well, I tried to comment on it and say, first of all, you shouldn't have to even clarify what you said. You shouldn't even have to say this. You shouldn't even have to defend yourself, right? But okay, you're defending yourself. I appreciate that. Thank you. But what about the variable of technology and the impact that is having on people's ability to communicate and interact socially? What about that? This is a real variable, okay? This is a real variable that we have to look at. Anyway, I tried to tweet that, and when you know it, Twitter wouldn't let me post it. And I'll tell you, this has happened to me, one or two times, and I just blew it off the first couple times. I'm like, well, maybe Twitter's busy, and that's why it won't let me post. But every time I feel like I am hitting the nail right on the head with something, Twitter won't let me post it. It shows me this, your post cannot be completed at this time. I have a whole draft list, drafts of these tweets that would not post. And what do you think it would mean if we found out, and it was public knowledge, that spending too much time on technology is actually causing this change in the way we communicate with one another? That we are actually losing a skill set of being able to look in each other's eyes. Because looking into each other's eyes and connecting means empathy. It means connection. It means that I have compassion for you as my fellow human being, right? And it would also mean that we might have to monitor how much time we're spending in technology. And it would probably mean that we would be very, divisive with the, separate with the online world and the reality, what I call the analog world, right? If you're Gen X, you're analog, like me and Jay. We're analog, trying to be digital because we know that this is necessity to be digital. We know we have to, then we're fine with that. Okay, yeah, times change, we get it. But also, why do we want to throw away our analog skill set? I mean, we're Gen X. We grew up in the streets. We grew up getting dropped off somewhere, and good luck find your way home. You come home when the street lights are on. A lot of us raised ourselves. We have a very specific skill set that I think is very needed during this time, because there's a generation behind us that is lacking in this skill set, this ability to connect in person, this ability to show empathy, to express sarcasm, have a laugh. They're starting to miss this stuff. And I think it's truly something we have to discuss and consider, especially when it comes to this spectrum of autism. We got to go to break. This is a radio show. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. Stay tuned, because we'll be right back.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great-tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
I'm really excited about the direction that we are taking naturally inspired coaching. I feel reinvigorated about coaching because I've taken what your feedback, and I feel like I'm really going to be able to help with this model. So here's what I'm doing. I've created 4 cohorts, and these are groups that are going to be working on very specific topics, okay? So the first one is Raise Resilient Kids Naturally. So a parent's blueprint for lifelong wellness. So this is raising unmedicated children. I get this question so often, right? I know if I go to the doctor, they're going to want to put them on medication. What do I do? This is a group that is going to support you and get you information that you'll be able to move forward with to be more confident in making your own medical decisions and being more informed. It's going to be great. And I feel like these cohorts will become communities where we can rely on each other for information and support through the medical model. So I'm really excited for that one. The second one is a lifestyle transformation for weight loss and whole body wellness. Okay. It is for weight loss because I know that's a big goal for everybody, but you know me, there are several variables to be measuring when you're trying to achieve better health, right? So it is about weight loss, but we're also going to be looking at all of our markers, right? So we can judge our success by multiple things. So you'll be able to reset your life, rebuild your body. It's a 90-day lifestyle transformation for lasting weight loss. You're going to build a lifestyle that you love. You're going to stop this deprivation model and, having to gut it out and be miserable just to lose weight. It doesn't have to be that way. It truly doesn't. The third one is COVID trauma recovery. And I'm very excited about this one. Healing after the storm. This is a path to reclaim peace, trust, and personal freedom. And I think I'm going to benefit from that so much as well. I'm going to bring in experts. I'm going to offer you the research that I have done. But more importantly, we're going to work together as a community to be able to share our stories and work through some of this trauma. So I'm very excited for that one. And then the last one is a gut health reset. So it's a gut health revival. This is a natural path to better digestion, mood, and metabolism. We cover gut health here all the time because it's super important to your health. And so we have a whole cohort designed for that. So you can text me 720-303-8868. Text me wait list with the cohort that you're interested in or the cohorts that you're interested in. Some people are taking 2. I have one person that's taking 3. So, and that's totally fine. And then when we get the groups together, we'll send you the link to get signed up, and it's going to be a great time. So don't miss out. It's going to be fantastic. So for today's Naturally Inspired Moment, I want to go through 7 steps to finding out what you want. You would be surprised, when I ask people what they want in coaching sessions, they usually start telling me what they don't want. And here's the thing, no progress is ever made when you continue to focus on what you don't want. So those fears of like, I don't want to be fat. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be sick. I don't want to go to the hospital. I don't want all the things that, you don't want. Those are easy to come up with. But when I ask somebody, what do you want? They struggle. They truly struggle. So that's a problem. So the number one thing you can do to find out what you really want is get some clarity, right? You got to make a mind shift and stop thinking about what you don't want and start designing what you do want. That's number one. Number 2 is you got to find and face the truth. And I know it's not easy. It's painful. And this is maybe the hardest step because we're in defense mode a lot of times and we want to blame things and we don't want to accept that personal responsibility for our results, but we have to face it and we have to accept the truth that where we are is based on, the decisions we've made up to this point, and that there are reasons for why we're where we're at. You see, this ability to blame things that are kind of elusive or circumstances or other people, that means that keeps us from taking personal responsibility. And it also means we can't change it because it's somebody else's fault. Well, if only they would do this, then I could do that. Can't do that. Can't do that. So we have to find and face the truth about why we have the results that we have. And then after we face the truth, the third step is we create a plan. We create a plan. So we look at 3 things that we can do. And it doesn't have to be the perfect plan. It doesn't have to be the ultimate plan, but find 3 things that are worth trying, right? So like if you, if your goal is to lose weight, say that's an easy one. Maybe you pick 3 things that you're going to do towards that, right? And you just leave it at that. 3 things that that could possibly work to get you to lose weight. So maybe it's walking every day. Maybe it's cutting out desserts, cutting out sugar or a little bit of sugar even. Maybe it's plugging into a show like this every day for inspiration and for education to discover why you need to make these changes. Right? So pick 3 easy things that you can do. The 4th thing is do what's hard first. So we have to do the thing that we really don't, want to face. That's the thing to do first. So once you have created, this plan and you're going to take action on it and you've committed yourself, do the hard things first every day. So if you know that walking is going to be the issue for you or exercise is going to be the issue for you, make a plan that you will do that first every day, right? Make a plan where it gets done, in the earliest part of the day as you can possibly do it. If it's meals that you struggle with, then make a plan for meals. And really, this 7 steps can be applied to anything. It can be applied to your business. It can be applied to, relationships. It can be applied to your health, whatever. It's a formula. It's just a formula. And many, I've learned from so many self-help, I guess, personal development type of people I'm a junkie on personal development. I love it. It keeps me going, right? So none of this information I share with you really in Naturally Inspired Moment is coming directly from me. It's an accumulation of all the wonderful teachers that I have learned from. So I can't even take credit for this stuff. I don't even know where I pull it from most of the time. Okay, so the fifth thing is daily practice. So you have to understand that the things that you choose, the plan that you make, it's about, consistent action over time, expect repetition, right? Plan for repetition. It keeps you going. It is what I call in the transformation system, immersion. You're putting yourself in it, right? You're so much better off when you do that. A lot of people talk about learning new languages, right? Very hard to do it when you're not in the country, and you're not around people that speak the language. Much easier when you're in the country and you're around the people that are speaking the language. So with daily practice, get in a community for exercise. Get in a community, that practices the lifestyle that you want to achieve. Number 6, once you have that kind of down, right? So you've got clarity, you've found and faced the truth, the facts about why you don't have the results you want. You've created a plan. You're doing what's hard every day. You're into a pattern and you're able to complete repetition. Then the next step, the 6th step, is just upping it a little bit, right? So taking on a little bit more, expanding those 3 things. Remember, you started with 3 things. You add another thing, right? So you can expand your progress. That's the 6th thing. And then the 7th thing is the best thing, and it's celebrating. Yeah, you have to celebrate your wins. You have to. You absolutely have to. Because if you don't, then it just becomes a continuous cycle of work. Work. Okay, now what's next? And Jason and I are guilty of that, for sure. You have to take time to celebrate your wins. You can't just move on to the next thing. So 7 steps to finding out what you want. This is Naturally Inspired Radio. We still have an hour left. Don't go anywhere. And if you're listening on our syndicated stations, go to naturallyinspiredradio.com for hour 2. We'll be right back, everybody. Stay tuned. Dean Lurwick's going to be joining us too from Pumpkin Creek Ranch. You won't want to miss it.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Did you know that carbon 60 is 172 times more powerful than vitamin C as an antioxidant? This powerful molecule is scientifically proven to neutralize free radicals, reduce inflammation, and promote optimal energy. How does it work? C60 fights oxidative stress, the root cause of aging and disease, helping your body repair and rejuvenate naturally. It's like giving your cells a protective shield. Here's what our listeners have to say. Mike from Denver says,
C60 in olive oil has been perfect as my daily detox. I feel cleaner, lighter, and more energized every day.
Sarah from Houston says,
The C60 topical spray is incredible. I apply it to sore joints, and within minutes, the pain and inflammation starts to fade.
order now at c60.com or call 720-600-6040. Use coupon code TAMMY, T-A-M-M-Y, for a special discount.
Did you know 80% of beef consumed in the U.S. comes from 4 major corporations, much of it being imported or processed with additives? Want real beef from a real farm? Pumpkin Creek Ranch does things the right way. Local, grass-fed, dry-aged beef with no additives, no shortcuts, just honest quality.
Pumpkin Creek Ranch beef is the real deal. I love knowing exactly where my meat comes from. No additives, no nonsense, just honest quality beef.
Best beef I've ever had. You can taste the difference. Rich, tender, and packed with real flavor. Plus, supporting a local ranch makes it even better.
From pasture to plate, they raise their cattle with care, so you can get rich, natural flavor that only real ranching can provide. Stock your freezer with premium beef you can trust. Visit pumpkincreekranchco.com or call 970-658-0176.
Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, sow health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
The information and other content provided on this radio show or in any linked materials is provided for informational purposes only, not intended and should not be construed as medical advice. It is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment.
Did you know that over 50% of our pets are now dealing with chronic diseases as well? So things like allergies, obesity, joint issues. Are you doing everything that you can to make sure that they live a long, healthy life with fewer trips to the vet? Because who likes vet bills, right? At Naturally Inspired, we believe pets deserve real natural solutions, so not just quick fixes and prescriptions. That's why we've handpicked our preferred pet products designed to support better digestion, support joint health, and immunity. So promote longer lifespans with fewer vet visits with real nutrition. Give yourself peace of mind knowing you're giving your pet the best food and the best nutrition. This is for pet lovers only who want their pets to thrive naturally. So visit naturallyinspiredstore.com and click on the preferred pet products section. Give your pet what they deserve, because they deserve health, vitality, and more tail wagging days. If you have questions or anything about the pet food, just text me 720-303-8868. I'm always happy to hear from you. Okay, let's move on to Dr. Marty Makary. So did you see this story yesterday? I think this came out in the afternoon because I mentioned it last night on Red Pill Project, but I didn't have a chance to go into it on the show yesterday. So I want to do that now. So Dr. Marty was on Megyn Kelly, I believe, talking about this. And I wonder if a lot of people who haven't really followed the medical mafia model, because why would you? If you didn't know that you were damaged from the medical model, you're not looking at things under a microscope, right? You're not paying attention to stuff. You're just like, oh, well, idiopathic. I don't know why it happened, So you don't really know a lot of these things. So I wonder how many people's minds are exploding about the changes that they're making, right? Because I think a lot of people didn't know that this is how this establishment runs. So take a listen to Dr. Marty here on Megyn Kelly.
Well, we have to do two things. Number one is we have to partner with industry and pharma to facilitate the process to make it user-friendly and expeditious. We shouldn't be in a receive-only mode. We want American pharma companies to do well and companies that do business in the United States to do well. But the scientific evaluation needs to be independent. And that's why today we're announcing we're removing industry members, pharma members from FDA advisory committees. I was shocked when I learned that employees of big pharma companies sit on FDA advisory committees as members of those committees. So we're going to be replacing them whenever statutorily possible with patients and family caregivers. We are going to be inviting pharma companies to send representatives to the advisory committees, but they can sit with the rest of the public and watch and pose questions as the rest of the American public.
Oh, no longer a seat at the table. Did you know this? Oh, yeah. They sit on the very boards that recommend and approve their products. And that's similarly, I believe, to Dr. Paul Offit, right? Like he'll say, I don't get paid from vaccine companies. No, but like if you not directly, but you're certainly, you're in the mix there. You're in the mix. So the next step is going to be prying the pharma claw off of our education system. Yeah, because they got their claw on higher education big time. They fund their research. They, buy their textbooks or their information or whatever. I don't know if we do textbooks anymore, but you know what I mean. They're funding them. They're funding these higher institutions. So who wants to piss off a pharmaceutical company, a big corporation that's funding you? Who wants to do that? And the same is true for medical journals. Yep. And all that stuff I think is going to come out. And so this is fantastic. This is a good step, and I hate to be like, so excited in a way. I think some people will listen to this and go, this is like, they're not doing enough. And I get it. I get your frustration, but also, do you really understand the depth of the evil? Do you really understand the depth of the evil? Because I do. And I know that people have died for a lot less than what these people are doing. So I think we can extend a little patience, as long as, what I think actually is that I think why some people are, impatient could be some things, going on there. One, they've been in a fight in a long time, and thank God they've been in the fight as long as they have, right? Because without them, we wouldn't have had a foundation to even stand on during COVID. I'm talking about the longtime naturopathic doctors, the chiropractors that got called quacks, the naturopaths, right? Like all these people that put their necks on the line for many, many years and just kept doing the work. I understand their frustration totally, because we're this close. So like, just do it, right? So I get that 100%. But I do think we have another a group of people that don't have the opportunity to take action every day. What I mean by that is like, I get to do this show every day. So I'm out here trying to talk to people about this and say, hey, look at this. I'm doing the work every day, trying to, lead people to the correct information. I'm fighting the good fight, right? Every day. And so that's where my energy goes. But if you're not doing that, and you're not actively involved in the fight, then, it's kind of like, come on. You're just sitting waiting. And that energy is stirring up inside of you and it's got nowhere to go. And so what I would say to you is, the most powerful work that you can do is having conversations with people and telling them your story. Tell them your story, why you believe what you believe. And I know that there's ignorant people out there and they're never going to listen, and, don't waste your time on those people, but find people that will listen, because there's a lot of people questioning now. Right. And so rather than wait for them to pull the shots, rather than wait for them to, do something more that you're desperately wanting them to do, maybe the time will pass faster if you can find a way to express yourself. And it will be a lot more productive too, I think. So anyway, the stuff is happening. I think it's just not being focused on, right? Like I said, they want us concerned about Katy Perry in space. They want us concerned about, these things that take our attention away. That's what they want us concerned about. And it's not working. Right? I mean, all you have to do is look in the comments on some of these surface stories. And yeah, the autism thing has definitely stirred up some conversation, right? How dare you ever say, that my son won't do this or okay. Keep moving forward. That's what I tell myself. Yeah. Okay. Just keep moving forward, because every day there's babies being born. Every day, babies being born. Every day, there's people going in for these injections, right? We don't have the time for any distraction. We have to just keep pushing forward, keep dropping. I have a friend that I just love her. She has these little cards, and it's all about vaccine injury on these little business cards, and she just puts them everywhere all day long. She gave me a stack one time. It took me months to get rid of them all. She's going through them like crazy. That's her way of being able to express and release her energy, right? She has to be involved, because you can't just sit back and do nothing. If you do, then you just sit back and you make a career out of, criticizing other people that are doing things. And you can do that, but you got to ask yourself at some point, why? Why? Because again, it doesn't bring you any real payoff other than frustration and pent up energy. So it's a good way to just think about, do something like that, make some stickers up, put them out everywhere. Every little bit helps. I'm telling you, it's repetition. They got the majority of the population to comply through many years of repetition. And so that's how we get people out. Repetition. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. Stay tuned. We got our health topic coming up next. Do you need a knee replacement? We'll find out.
Have you heard about the powerful health benefits of medicinal mushrooms? Take our preferred medicinal mushrooms for immune support, gut health, antioxidant properties, stress and sleep, heart health, liver protection, blood sugar regulation, cholesterol reduction, anti-cancer properties, cognitive health, mood and mental health, heart health, antibacterial and antiviral, and so much more. Available in easy-to-take capsules, great-tasting gummies, and our special coffee blends.
Since adding these mushrooms to my daily routine, my cholesterol levels have improved, and I feel more confident about my heart health.
Taking one of these blends before bed has been a game changer. I fall asleep faster and I wake up feeling truly refreshed.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Did you know that 60% of American adults live with at least one chronic disease? At Inside Health, they take the mystery out of wellness with extensive testing and customized lifestyle plans, all from the comfort of your home.
I've struggled with low energy and digestive issues for years, and no doctor could give me real answers. Working with Inside Health was a game changer.
As a mom, I'm always putting my family's health first, but I was neglecting my own. Inside Health changed that. I started feeling better almost immediately.
Inside Health Services help you and your family achieve whole body health with non-invasive personalized care. They listen to your concerns and health goals. They will pinpoint areas where your body needs support. They will create a simple, actionable plan just for you. Call them today, 970-685-8060, or visit InsideHealth.com.
Did you know that carbon 60 is 172 times more powerful than vitamin C as an antioxidant? This powerful molecule is scientifically proven to neutralize free radicals, reduce inflammation, and promote optimal energy. How does it work? C60 fights oxidative stress, the root cause of aging and disease, helping your body repair and rejuvenate naturally. It's like giving your cells a protective shield. Here's what our listeners have to say. Mike from Denver says,
C60 in olive oil has been perfect as my daily detox. I feel cleaner, lighter, and more energized every day.
Sarah from Houston says,
The C60 topical spray is incredible. I apply it to sore joints, and within minutes, the pain and inflammation starts to fade.
Order now at c60.com or call 720-600-6040. Use coupon code TAMMY, TAMMY, for a
So we have launched Naturally Inspired Radio 24/7, streaming live on Rumble. It's around the clock, 24 hours a day. So you can catch the latest episode shortly after the show today. Jason will post it onto this Rumble channel. And then it will be Naturally Inspired Radio 24/7. It's just going to keep going. Our intent with this channel is to build up a following because we've been kicked off of so many different platforms, bounced around, done all kinds of somersaults and pivots, and it has been quite an experience, let me tell you. But we're still here. We're still here, and it's because of you. No matter where we are, you come looking for us, and I love that. So you can find us on Rumble. We're really going to try to build this one up. You can catch the latest episode featuring Real Health Talk. You won't hear it anywhere else. I don't know. I'm pretty direct, and I think that's probably the reason why I've been so censored is just because I'm just that kind of gal. I don't really know how to not be direct. It's kind of a fault of mine. But anyway, go to Rumble and just search Naturally Inspired Radio 24/7 and make sure you subscribe. I know it's easy to not because it just is, right? You're watching something, you just want to watch it, who cares? But it's really important that you do, subscribe to it. If you have an extra couple seconds, leave a comment. Or copy the link and share it on your social media. Check this out, Real Solutions for Health. I would love it. I would be so grateful for it because that will help us connect more people to Real Solutions for Health. And when more people connect to Real Solutions for Health, I say this all the time, that's how we change the medical model. What we're doing here is changing health culture. People need to know that there are other solutions than what the medical mafia is offering. Speaking of which, knee replacements. I get a ton of questions about knee replacements. So today I've compiled 7 different things that you can do before you succumb to a knee replacement. Okay, because I think the ideology out there now is that if you've been an athlete in high school, you played football or whatever, and you used your knees hard and you got knee problems. You're eventually going to need a knee replacement as you get older. No. Nope. No. So here are some things that you can do to take action today. Okay. If someone has told you, I think you'll probably need a knee replacement in a few years, just try this stuff. Humor me. Okay. Number 1, weight loss. Okay. If you're carrying around extra weight, and you're getting a knee replacement before you lose that weight, might want to try to lose weight first. I know it's harsh, but it's the truth. It's the truth, right? I have known people who have lost 25 pounds and all their pain is gone. All their pain is gone. You understand? Weight is a huge burden on the body. And so try it, right? What have you got to lose? Besides a bunch of fat. Okay, second thing is motion is lotion. That means you got to get moving. I did a brief stint in physical therapy when I was in my early 20s before I realized that the medical model was something I could not participate in. And one of the things that I learned was that the faster you get moving after an injury, or what have you, the better off your recovery is going to be. Now, it sounds counterintuitive because you hear from the medical establishment, rest, right? Rest. No. Because motion is lotion. It keeps things moving. So I'm not saying go out after an injury and just pound away at it and make it worse, but I'm saying find a way to move, right? So get yourself in water. Aqua exercise is wonderful, right? Non-weight bearing. But keep it moving. No matter what you have to do, keep it moving because stopping is going to lead to it's going to lead to it being harder to get going again. Number 3, if you're a smoker, and this includes pot, stop. It's an irritant. It is an irritant, and the smoke itself is an irritant. So obviously try to quit smoking cigarettes. I know it's not an easy thing to do, but this is a variable. So if you're opting for knee surgery because you can't quit smoking, you got to weigh that out. You got to weigh that out. So you may not have to have a knee surgery if you do some of these things. And that includes pot. the smoke is an irritant. It creates an inflammatory response, and it depletes you of minerals. Cigarette smoking depletes you of minerals and vitamins. Like, you're not giving your body the best chance to heal when you're participating in these activities. The next one, alcohol. Alcohol creates inflammation. It also doesn't allow calcium to be absorbed. So that can be a real problem when you're dealing with the joint pain and joint issues. The fifth thing is DSMO. If you don't follow the Midwestern Doctor on Substack, you should. He's got he or she. I don't know who it is, so I don't know if it's a he or she. But this is incredible. He's done some incredible work on DMSO. So, the standard approach for treating pain is NSAIDs. And what do we know about NSAIDs? Well, they just wreak havoc on your stomach, right? And they can be really dangerous, even though the common perception is, who cares? It's just, over-the-counter type of thing. It's not a problem. It is, especially with chronic use. So consider an alternative. So it's a remarkable pain-killing agent, in many cases allowing individuals who've been disabled for years by their pain to get back to their lives. And again, that's from the Midwestern Doctor on Substack. So if you don't follow him, you can read all about it here. He's got many good resources that he cites. So, there's tons of information on this, and you can find it all on his Substack. But this is a wonderful thing to pursue, the knowledge of this, right? To be able to know, hey, there's other things out there is what we're trying to achieve here. The sixth thing is red light therapy. If you're not using red light therapy, you should do your research on it, because, you know what? It doesn't even have to be red light therapy. Go outside in the morning. You don't have to go and spend all this money on a red light therapy panel when you can actually set your alarm and go outside. And the earlier you get outside, the better it is for you. Of course, this raises your vitamin D levels. It does so many things for you. Helps with inflammation, especially if you can couple it with grounding. You get out in the morning, get your feet in the dirt and your eyes on the sun. And it'll just change you. It'll change you. Of course, collagen is a wonderful thing as well to implement into your protocol, because we lose collagen, as you know, every year at 1%. So it's great to supplement with collagen. And then the seventh thing I have is lasers. And I think this one probably, for most people, they don't know about it, that you can even purchase your own laser. They're just these nifty little devices. My friend Carl has a bunch of them, and many of my acupuncture friends have them as well. And they're just these little handheld lasers, right? So you can look them up, and you can just rub them over the area, right? And I was talking to somebody yesterday, actually, naturopathic doctor, Dr. Danielle from our networking group, and she was telling me about her experience with a knee replacement. She was supposed to have a knee replacement, bone on bone. They told her there was no way, you gotta have this. But turns out, no, she was using frequency and I think lasers and doing all the things. And she still has not had and this is years ago, and she still has not had to have a knee replacement and has no trouble with her knees. And I hear this over and over again. I wouldn't tell you about it if I didn't think it was valid. But I think that with so many things in the medical model, our first course of action should actually be the very last course of action. That's true with pharma, with pills, and it's also true with surgeries. And I think because it's become the norm, we just accept it. We just accept it. Oh, we're getting older, we got to go on statins. Oh, we're getting older, we got to get a knee replacement. Oh, we're getting older, the back's going to give out. Like, we're expecting this to happen. You have to have a mind shift on that. We can feel pretty good as we age if we take care of ourselves. You're listening to Naturally Inspired Radio. I'm Tammy Cuthbert Garcia. We have to go to a break. When we come back, hopefully, Mr. Dean Lerwick from Pumpkin Creek Ranch will be joining us. Hope we get good signal on the farm today. Stay tuned, everybody.
Have you heard about the powerful health benefits of medicinal mushrooms? Take our preferred medicinal mushrooms for immune support, gut health, antioxidant properties, stress and sleep, heart health, liver protection, blood sugar regulation, cholesterol reduction, anti-cancer properties, cognitive health, mood and mental health, heart health, antibacterial and antiviral, and so much more. Available in easy-to-take capsules, great-tasting gummies, and our special coffee blends.
Since adding these mushrooms to my daily routine, my cholesterol levels have improved, and I feel more confident about my heart health.
Taking one of these blends before bed has been a game changer. I fall asleep faster and I wake up feeling truly refreshed.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
Are you tired of guessing what's really in your meat? I know I was until I found Pumpkin Creek Ranch. They raise their cattle the way nature intended, 100% grass-fed and grass-finished right here on Colorado pastures. No hormones, no antibiotics, no feedlots, just clean, local, nutrient-rich beef that you can feel good about. Well, actually, now that I think about it, I think it's Nebraska. It's Nebraska pastures. It might be. I'm pretty sure it is. So when you buy Pumpkin Creek Ranch, you're not just getting amazing flavor. You're supporting regenerative farming, small family ranchers that live in Colorado, and your own health. So they've got everything from juicy steaks to organ meats delivered right to your door, so you can stock up and eat with confidence. Real beef, real nutrition, real local. So go to pumpkincreekranch.com and taste the difference that real ranching makes. And remember, when you support our community partners like Pumpkin Creek Ranch, you're also keeping Naturally Inspired Radio going strong. Again, that's pumpkincreekranchco.com, pumpkincreekranchco.com. Naturally better beef. Mr. Dean Lerwick, are you joining us today?
I think I'm here.
Darn it. I haven't. There we go. Yeah. Yay. We did it. I just said to the audience, hopefully we have good reception on your ranch today. How's your weather up there?
Well, it's been spitting snow off and on all day long. So we're getting a little bit of very desperately needed moisture. So
Yes. And I was thinking of you this morning when I was, upset about the snow because, all my blossoms are on my peach trees and I've been complaining about it now since I found out it was going to snow today. So I'm sure my audience is tired of hearing it, but I did console myself with the thought, well, I bet Dean's happy.
yeah. Oh,
I bet
we'll
you're
take
happy.
anything we can get right now.
Exactly. So yesterday here on the show, we talked about this Farmers First agenda. And I thought this would be a good topic for us to just kind of discuss today because I don't know a whole lot about it. But there's so much going on in the news these days with the MAHA movement. It's hard for me to keep up with everything that's happening. So I wondered if you knew anything about it, the Farmers First agenda kind of initiative. It seems like to me they're responding to the citizenry, right? People really want to know where their food's coming from. They're asking for transparency. Do you think the administration's going to deliver? What are your thoughts?
Well, they're making the right sounds. I haven't gotten really down into the weeds with what they're proposing and the things that they are promoting right now, because one thing I've learned about Trump is you never take the opening gambit for fact. You kind of wait and see how stuff develops. And so for the time being, I've kind of been cooling my heels a little bit and just watching to see. They have good people. As far as RFK, I do think he's sincere in his attempts and his what is motivating him. I hope he's successful. There's a lot to be said for moving back or away from the highly synthetic, high input type of farming that we've been going towards. But it's going to be an adjustment. There's some that are able to do it in certain parts of the country easier than others may. And I just listened to a podcast here recently about a couple in North Dakota that's sending they're selling their wheat stuff directly to the consumer like we are with beef, and they are using, they've gotten away from the fertility and gotten away from a lot of the chemicals. They're still using some, but everything that they send out, they test. And we have had that conversation too about, maybe the first step is let's just test and make sure that we don't have chemical contamination. And, even that would be a step in the right direction. And so I'm cautiously optimistic when it comes to this farmer first movement or their attempts to change the food system. But again, I'm going to have to wait and see where they're going.
So tell me about this direct to consumer, like wheat. How does that work? And what do you think are what is the pros of direct to consumer and what are the cons of direct to consumer?
Well, for the pros, it's very similar to the beef side of things, is that you get to know your farmer. You have a more personal relationship with it, and that can help develop confidence in what you're purchasing. But the practices that are being used to produce it, really the spotlight gets put on that, both that and on the character of the people that are operating the farm. You have to be able to trust someone if you're going to do business with them as far as purchasing products from them. So, we substituted that relationship with a relationship with a grocery store. Just, the government standing there saying, well, just trust us, it's okay. And we found out that that isn't the way things work anymore, or maybe they never did. So you develop that relationship and you start paying attention to what an individual is doing on their farm or ranch, and you need to dig into the practices that they're using to produce. And not everybody is going to be a consumer of that particular product or that particular farming practice. This family in particular that I'm talking about, they developed a system that they could utilize microorganisms that they collected from their own farm, from native areas, watersheds, and things that they were able to grow the microbes and replace their fertilizer with them. And so they are producing wheat without any synthetic fertilizers. That's important to a lot of people, and they've had some success there. So I think that's a pretty big positive to that. The negatives, direct to consumer is a lot of work. Not all of the food supply chain developed because it was just victimizing the farmer or rancher. It ended up doing that in a sense, but it developed because direct to consumer is a lot of work. It's difficult to develop your own markets. It's difficult to fulfill all of those orders and to do all the things that go on behind the scenes, where a grocery chain would have dozens of people doing the same thing that one or two people are doing. And so that's the negative. And supply, you could run out. That's always a problem.
Well, a couple things I would say. First of all, I think it's so important to connect to your food, and some people may overlook that importance. I think they think, oh, well, who cares? You just go to the grocery store, right? But we're actually losing so much more than that when we separate ourselves from the connection to our food. We're losing connection with nature. We're losing connection with the land itself. And if you have no connection to the land, not only can it impact you negatively in your physiological, being, but you also mentally, you don't have the gratitude for it. So therefore you don't care what you're putting in your body. You don't care about, what it's doing to the land and stuff. And for people that, claim they care about climate change and they're all concerned about saving the planet, well, you got to get connected to the land to really understand what it needs.
Mm-hmm. Yes, absolutely. It is that personal connection. Of course, we live with it. We see it every day, but it is not in the best interest of farmers and ranchers to have a consumer that doesn't understand where their food comes from, how it's produced. Even within this regenerative space, and the people that are educating themselves, I think that is critical, because there's still a lot of sensationalism. There's a lot of even false information within this space. And
I agree. Let's talk about that when we come back. We're going to go to break. We're talking to Dean Lerwick. Everyone visit pumpkincreekranchco.com. Get your beef today. We'll be right back. Stay tuned, everybody.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. amazing products, and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Did you know that medicinal mushrooms are excellent for pets? Take our preferred pet health products for joint health, skin health, antioxidant protection, cell health, anti-aging benefits, gut health, liver support, cholesterol regulation, blood pressure support, brain health, anxiety relief, respiratory health, endurance and strength, anti-fatigue, and much more. Available in easy-to-take treats, great tasting gravy, and our pet food blends.
Since adding mushroom dog food to my dog's diet, I've noticed a huge improvement in his energy and coat health. He's like a puppy again, even at 10 years old.
After starting my care on mushroom super sauce, her immune health and digestion have noticeably improved. She's more playful, and her fur has never looked shinier.
Learn how to get free shipping and how to join our monthly mushroom call. Text Tammy with questions or to order at 720-303-8868. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom. That's naturallyinspiredradio.com/mushroom.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com, or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio, save it to your favorites, and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. naturallyinspiredradio.com.
If you're looking to reclaim your food, reclaim your freedom, no GMOs, no additives, just clean, award-winning beef, join the ranch revolution. I love this. Go to pumpkincreekranchco.com. That's pumpkincreekranchco.com. No hormones, no mRNA. It's small batched flavor, dry aged. It's absolutely delicious. That's the only beef we have in our house. And they have all kinds of cuts available for you. They do delivery. They make it convenient. And of course, we're talking to Dean Lerwick with Pumpkin Creek Ranch right now. We were just talking about the regenerative movement. And Dean mentioned, there's a lot of sensationalization going on. And I think that's what we get, when something's hot. It's good that the word regenerative is a buzzword. It's great. But when that happens and something becomes popular, you get a bandwagon effect, don't you, Dean?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that's the biggest risk. And honestly, I look forward to the day when nobody has to even talk about regenerative because it's just what is.
Yes.
In regenerative, at some point, it may not necessarily look like what we're doing today or what we're trying to do today. The main focus of what we're doing on the farm is to restore the function of our soils to the highest level that we can. And so when we're looking for practices that are going to restore those, and by that I mean to a biologically natural state, we want to restore those so that, because first of all, it's economically profitable to do that. But we want to see a healthy functioning ecosystem on our farm. It's advantageous to us. But that may not look like the idealized pastoral, paintings and imagery that we currently think we're going back to.
Right.
We don't know for sure what it's going to take to be truly regenerative in the high plains of western Nebraska. We're on a journey to achieve that, but we don't know what it's going to look like yet. And honestly, we went from, if we're going to use something like, say, organic matter as a gauge for health of the soil, and certainly you should be cautious about choosing one metric and measuring that and saying, well, this is what healthy soil is, because where our soils, our organic matters might naturally in our native ranges be 2%. Well, a 2% organic matter in Iowa or Minnesota is a highly degraded resource. In Nebraska, western Nebraska especially, that's actually pretty good for us. We need to be careful about the metrics we use, but when we started into the continuous crop no-till with using more higher levels of synthetics and higher levels of chemistries, we were starting with a resource that had a organic matter below 1%. In some places down to 0.7. And for those that don't really understand what organic matter is, it is stable carbon. So it's the carbon in our soil that is helping. It provides a home for the bacteria, the fungi, all of the different microbes that we want there. It holds more water. You can add 1% of organic matter to your soil and add a couple inches of water holding capacity. So we want as much organic matter as we can possibly get, especially in our environment. But we were able to raise our organic matter from about 0.7, I think was the lowest before we made the switch over to no-till continuous crop. And we pushed that organic matter up sometimes as high as 2.5 to nearly 3%. So we made improvements utilizing a system that now we're trying to get away from, because we think we've probably taken it about as far as we can take it with that. And we're starting to see some of the negative side effects. But that's why I say regenerative right now, it's really popular. It's a buzzword. And the concepts that we're pursuing, I absolutely believe in. The practices aren't descriptive in the sense that, well, if I'm being regenerative in the high plains of western Nebraska, it's probably not going to be the same thing as what they're doing in the thumb of Michigan.
Exactly. So you're saying, I think that's something that that's a great open conversation to have amongst farmers and ranchers, because there is, I do sense a defensiveness coming from some farmers that say, well, easy for them to say because they live in Virginia or whatever, right? So they've got this totally different climate. They're working with totally different variables. And the public needs to understand that as well, right? As they hop on to this regenerative model, they need to understand that there are limitations to what you could do based on where you live geographically. So what's the benefit of having our ranching and farming spread out all over the nation? Why don't we just grow everything in California, Dean?
Well,
gosh, COVID.
Yeah. COVID.
Yeah. Yes.
We want short supply chains.
Yes.
And
food security.
It is my firm belief that we can provide a regenerative environment and still utilize a judicious amount of technology, whether that is, actual electronics or some very cautious use of chemistries, that sort of thing, where we're testing to make sure that these things aren't getting into the food supply, that they're staying on target, they're doing what we want, and allowing us to continue to improve our soil. Because, we went from native range, native environment, which might have been a 2.5% organic matter, maybe some places 3. It rarely went over that in western Nebraska. We went from that to under 1% with organic farming in the high plains. That was organic farming. There were no added inputs. We controlled the weeds with tillage. That's organic farming in the high plains of western Nebraska and eastern Colorado. Right. So we are able to degrade the resource just the same as we can improve it based upon what we're doing. And so organic in this part of the country is going to end up with a degradation of the resources, at least in the way that we were practicing it, say, 50 years ago, which is when a big part of the degradation occurred. So it isn't like, well, we all need to go organic. We go organic, we're going to have erosion problems. Mm-hmm. There's just no way to do it. They aren't going to have that in the Eastern Corn Belt, Midwest, where they may not get as much wind. They've got heavier soils that aren't prone to erosion, that sort of thing. So it needs to, and this is one part of the whole regenerative movement that they stress, is you've got to farm in an appropriate context for your environment. And
right. So one of the worst things we could probably do is, pound the tables for a label of regenerative, right?
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think we need to be looking at the results of the practice, not the practice itself. So are we increasing our water holding capacity? Are we increasing the organic matter, which is just simply a proxy for carbon in our soil? If we're doing that, we're improving our soil. We're improving our soil life. And so I think that needs to be more of what our focus is. And then from that healthier soil, you will have higher nutrient density food. That's been shown. But just because you are putting a label of organic or a label of grass-fed on something doesn't necessarily mean that you're getting a more nutritious product. It really is dependent upon the practices that you're using.
And we've been talking about this a lot, just how we have to get away from the reliance on government. There are no experts anymore, in my opinion, Dean. There's no experts anymore right now, right? There's people with authority because they have life experience and they can speak on the issue. But as far as experts go, they've blown that to smithereens. So we don't want the government regulating our farming practices. What we want is good, clean food and transparency so we can work together to get good food on family tables. And you can definitely do that when you buy at pumpkincreekranchco.com. Right now, they have a 15-pound starter ground beef box for just $154.99 and so much more. Dean, I always love talking to you. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Tammy. Enjoyed it as always.
See you next time. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We'll be back Monday, 3 o'clock, right here.
Are you ready to take your health to the next level? Join us for the 2025 Naturally Inspired Health Summit, the #1 rated health event in Colorado. Saturday, June 28th, 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Sunday, June 29th, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. 18 powerhouse speakers, 55 business booths, 25 breakout sessions, Sunday's farmers market with 20 vendors, Saturday evening networking and dance party.
The Naturally Inspired Health Summit was life-changing. The energy, the speakers, and the connections I made were incredible. I left with real, actionable solutions for my health and business.
This event was exactly what I needed. So many inspiring speakers like Dr. Peter McCullough, Dr. Lee Merritt, Dr. Carrie Made, and so many more. Amazing products and a community that truly cares about real health solutions.
High energy, positive community, real solutions for health. Get your tickets now. Want to participate and show your message? Visit naturallyinspiredhealthsummit.com or text 720-764-7448.
Are you ready to stay informed and inspired 24/7? Tune in to Naturally Inspired Radio anytime, anywhere. Visit naturallyinspiredradio.com or for the best mobile experience, download the Simple Radio app. Search for Naturally Inspired Radio. Save it to your favorites and click on the graphic to listen instantly. Catch live broadcasts, revisit past shows, dive into long-form podcast conversations, and discover rare, censored presentations by leading health experts. Plus, Explore documentaries uncovering the hidden truths of occult and esoteric history. Stay connected, stay inspired. Naturally Inspired Radio is always at your fingertips. Tune in now. For health questions or comments, text Tammy directly at 720-303-8868. NaturallyInspiredRadio.com.